From Reigate, I'm joined now by the former Justice Minister, Crispin Blunt, who is another friend of Andrew Mitchell. If Sir Bernard Hogan-Howe was the source of these stories, that there was no evidence that police lied, should he resign?
His position is very difficult to be tenable in those circumstances. But if he made a completely clean breast of what he'd done and why he'd done it, he is a police officer with probably a very high reputation. I think in those circumstances one would then want him to continue, having learnt the lesson of putting in place the policy he set up a year ago.
So you just want him to admit it, but you don't want him to resign? Is that it?
Well, it's a wretched position at the minute that things are having to be dragged out of him bit by these Freedom of Information requests from David Davis. He has now twice defended his officers in circumstances that look frankly wrong. First off, the incident you refer to with the Home Affairs Select Committee then questioned him about. And now secondly, with what appears to be his briefing of journalists on the police report to the Crown Prosecution Service. Both of those were wrong. The second one is frankly a straightforward breach of his own regulations for his police. And he really now needs to be absolutely transparent if he's going to be able to continue in his position. In the grand scheme of things, does any of this really matter? I mean, aren't there more important things that we should be concentrating on, like the fight against serious crime and terrorism and all the things that Sir Bernard Hogan-Howe is getting on with? Well, this is very important on two levels. First of all, it is strategically important to the reputation and trust in the police. That's why Elizabeth Filkin was commissioned to conduct her inquiry into the relationships between the police and the press. And it's why Sir Bernard Hogan-Howe set out regulations to say that all occasions on which police officers are briefing the press should be properly minuted and noted. So there was a record of the proceedings. So that has been breached. But it is also important for everyone. If a cabinet minister can be brought down by a toxic relationship between the police and the press, then what price is there for anyone else in the country? The actual incident itself was extremely serious.
But shouldn't you be blaming David Cameron for that? I mean, he's the one who let Andrew Mitchell go. I mean, it's his judgment that's at question here, isn't it?
No, there was a perfectly. I completely understand Andrew's judgment to resign after a month of toxic headlines for him and for the Conservative Party and for the government. He felt that his continuing presence in the government was just going to lead to controversy. And what we know now is that controversy was wholly contrived on a report that ended up on the front page of The Sun 36 hours after a trivial incident at the end of Downing Street.
Crispin Blunt, thanks very much indeed.